Hi guys, this is Scribbly again with another product review, and today I do have something rather special for you, a product that I am not sure everyone out there in the stationery community is aware of. But I think everyone should basically be aware of that product, that a smaller company out of Germany, which is called Roterfaden, translating to something like a red thread in English, right? A red thread. And the product that I'm going to be looking at here is basically their signature product or their core product. And that is called the Taschenbegleiter, which Taschenbegleiter translates to something like pocket companion. So something that you have with you every day and that you carry with you everywhere you go. And what that essentially is a notebook system, probably a little bit comparable to the idea of what Traveler's Notebook is doing. It's a clip notebook system, and Roterfaden Taschenbegleiter then also does make all kinds of notebook and calendar inserts and so on. I will try to cover that a little bit systematically now as we go here. But just as a heads up, I've gotten that sent for review. The combination that we're looking at right here will cost around 160 euro. But, different products cost then different amounts of money, and we will also cover that as we go. But just as a heads up, so what we're going to look at is the Roterfaden Taschenbegleiter, the notebook system. Just for context, there's a lot written about the history of Roterfaden Taschenbegleiter on their website, and I'm already aware that this is going to be like a somewhat lengthier video, but I think it's okay, and there's a lot of ground to cover right here, so please bear with me. Allow me to just give you a little bit of context right here. So the Roterfaden Taschenbegleiter has actually a very, very interesting bit of history, because it started in, I think it was 2006 or something like that, in Saarbrücken in Germany, at the art school in Saarbrücken, as a diploma project where the designer was supposed to reinvent what a calendar system or what a notebook might look like. And I think the goal was to make it as open source or as free as possible, right? So that you're able to use all kinds of formats, to not then lock the user into using a certain, format of inlays that you will then have to use and so on. Long story short, and you can read all the rest of it here on the website, right? If you're interested in that kind of context. But long story short, from prize-winning diploma project to smaller startup company to now well-established, small business, that's the background of Roterfaden Taschenbegleiter. One thing that is very, very nice when you get your Roterfaden Taschenbegleiter, I just find it personally very, very lovely, is a very coherent corporate identity, a very nice look and feel of the whole overall package that you're going to get. And I'm not able to now deep dive into all of it, but you see their logo, Roterfaden Taschenbegleiter, little bit recycling material, so there seems to be some kind of sustainability angle to it. And then you get a very nice small flip book that shows you how to insert all the inserts, and that you could also use an iPad in the back pocket and so on. I think that's very, very lovely, the red branding here, that's very lovely. You get a pencil that says Roterfaden, 100% made in Germany, a lot of handmade, small scale. So there's a lot of care going into those products. A postcard with a actually sewn in red thread right here that you could then send to family and friends. You will then get another one in a recycling material that has some kind of a discount code. All in all, it's a very nice little package that you're going to get here. And then The whole thing is also customizable to the get-go. There's different materials. This here happens to be black leather. I chose to have my signature personalized onto that one here. You can choose the color of the leather material. You can choose how many pen loops you would like to have on the outside. If you want to have it on the right side, on the left side. You could choose the color of this back elastic here. You could choose inside how many pen loops you would like to have, what kind of inner material you would like to have. This for me happens to be turquoise suede. You can choose what kind of pocket combination you would like to have. If you would have to like one large one, I have like one larger in the bottom half and two smaller in the upper half. But I think you can also use between zippered pouches and so on. And then the same on the back side. I chose a sort of like Moleskine style side pocket that opens like that. But you can also have a side pocket that opens up here so that you could slide in an iPad and so on. Let's look at it a little bit more systematically, right? By looking at the brochure that comes. So the amount of clips you can also choose. I have 3 clips in mind, but you can have 2, 3, or 4 clip pairs. So as said, there's various materials, various inside materials. There's various formats, A6, A5, A4, whatever you want to have. You can completely personalize the whole thing, right? They make, as said, also all kinds of calendars, teachers' calendars, midwife calendars, birthday calendars, notepads, and so on. You can get all kinds of inserts. But of course, the cool thing is that you can use whatever other insert that might strike your fancy as well. And, you know, I'm aware of the fact that I'm already rambling on here a little bit. So let me just slide that through here for you so you can pause the video and read that for yourself. Because I now really want to dive into the product, but on the other hand side, I did also really want to make justice, you know, to the interesting history of the company, and also to actually the amount of care that goes into the whole product assortment, and also, looking into all the kinds of things that you can get. Let's now look at that product, right? The one that I'm having right here. As said, that one here is a black leather. It's sort of a structured leather. If you compare that to the leather of the traveler's notebooks, that's more like a very, very sleek leather, as you may be also used to from, certain shoes or something like that. That's a slightly different type of leather. It's not that glossy. It has a little bit of a structure to it. It's a little bit more made, just so that you see this. That's what it looks like. Mine already picked up some scuff marks from usage, which I think is very, very nice. It's very, very soft leather. Very nice to the touch. I really like touching this product. So as said, it's a black leather. I got my signature as a personalization option right here, which is executed very, very nicely. You then sort of see stitching right here. You have the back side right here. That's a rubber elastic. As said, you can also personalize that, and you can have that in different colors. That is used to hold those clips and the clip system, which I'm going to show you also in a second. And then on the back side, it says Roterfaden Taschenbegleiter, 100% made in Germany. And you also see some stitching, which is actually, where the outside material and the inside material is sort of stitched together, all handmade right here, and where that elastic is stitched into the cover. Very, very nice. I mean, the cool thing about that one is it's probably going to last you for a lifetime. If anything goes wrong, if anything becomes damaged, you can always send it back to them and they'll repair it for you. So that's that. There is a rubber elastic that you could use to close the notebook. Yeah, if you have some loose leaves in there, or if you just want to have a neat, nice, wrapped up little package. To be honest, never do that because I don't have any loose leaf in there. So the way I do it is I always have that rubber band just laying in here like that, and then I'll just close it like that, because then I can open it very, very quickly. I really, really like that. Right, so let's look at that clip system and how that actually works. So as said, it's a clip system, and you just flip those clips open like that, and then you can take out the notebook, right? And I mean, like, that's what the other three also look like. I can do it also with the second one. Flip open that clip system, boom, take out the notebook. This system here doesn't really have any bookmark, any bookmark solutions right here, but that doesn't matter, because I was just like taking, you know, like some kind of a black thread, and you can probably use like, you know, whatever leather strap or whatever you have around. And I just like, you know, tied it around one of these clips here. And then you have like a neat little bookmark system. As said, these are available with 2, 3, or 4 clips. I opted for the 3 clip option right here. So this is what these clips look like. The cool thing is like, so these clips, they're held in place. They're slid into this rubber elastic right here. So you can basically just, you know, in case they would get broken as well, you could get a new pair. You just slide them out here, right, like this. And it's just like a hole in here where you get them back in. So that's what these clips look like. There also, I think there's a special construction made in also a local manufacturer somewhere in Germany. So that's what these thingies look like. You slide it back in right here. That actually is a very, very solid construction. So it's not wiggly or something like that. So that these clips would slide out of that rubber material. That rubber material is sort of like anti-friction, so it really holds on tightly onto that metal. What you can do, however, and that's very, very neat, let me show you that. You know, if you have notebooks of different, slightly different width, so they call this format here a generous A5 format, to sort of like accommodate all kinds of A5-ish sizes. So what you can do is you can pull those clips out just that tad to be able to accommodate for a wider notebook, or you can actually pull them in. Sorry, now I bumped into the camera. Or you can sort of like push them in a little bit more so that they sit a little bit tighter onto the notebook in order to accommodate for sort of a little bit more smallish A5 notebooks. So that's very, very cool. Let me just insert those again. So the nice thing then with these clips obviously is that you can have, you know, whatever kind of like piece of paper. Let me just butcher this postcard here. So you could also, you know, just clip in whatever loose leaf note you collect somewhere, and it would be sort of like safely stored in here. The idea is that you could also use those clips as bookmarks or page markers. So in case you have written on that page, you know, and maybe now you're on that page, so then you could also clip them in right here. That's not what I do. That's what I use my little sort of like self-made bookmarks here for. I just have it always clipped in place, sort of around the middle of a notebook. So that's what that looks like. And then I put my calendar back in here, which is, yeah, it's very, very cool. The nice thing is, so, I mean, I was looking for a solution with which I could basically also go to work, because at work I do like A5. I never succeeded having a traveler's notebook with me at work, because the problem with the traveler's notebooks is that they don't lie flat open. They always tend to want to close again. And the cool thing with this construction here is that actually, you know, it lays flat open and it remains flat open on a desk. It doesn't matter on which page you are, always remains, you know, laying flat open. Doesn't matter if you're on the first notebook, on the second insert, or on the last insert. The thing always sort of like lays flat, which is super cool and super helpful. So I don't want to use anything else anymore but this thing. In the beginning, now for my the first notebook, I used their insert, which, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the insert itself is okayish. I find it's a little bit wiggly, and I think the paper quality isn't all that To be honest, it's okay. Let me show you here on their calendar. It's I can't show you my notebook because it has some private notes in there, but like their calendar is sort of like the same paper quality. So right here I put in a stamp with my address, and you see it goes through quite a bit. You also see that, you know, the paper overall is pretty thin because like sort of like all the dates that are printed on the other side goes through. I think I have a section here with some writing. Here I write, you know, not on that side. That's actually, you know, on the other hand side where I wrote with a, I think it was like a pilot marker, and it ghosts and bleeds quite significantly. You know, if you see that here coming through from the other side. This here is with pencil. That's all right, but also sort of like even the pencil goes through quite a bit. You know, you see the ghosting and bleeding sort of from the other side. So I mean, like the paper quality, it's not terrible, right? I mean, like it depends on how much that bothers you, because you can always write on the other side and you can still read the writing without any problem. So that's all fine. But I mean, it does ghost and bleed quite a bit, which does have to do with like the thinner paper quality, obviously, which also makes the whole notebook, you know, pretty thin. But hey guys, all of this doesn't really matter to me, you know, because I can get all kinds of, so I think this is like a Pebble stationery company that has like, you know, Tomoe River paper. So if you like that, you know, just throw that one right in here. As you can see, I have a Leuchtturm jot book that I put in here. I also ordered myself from Nomado store a few of these MD paper notebooks just because I wanted to try those ones out. This here is a pretty thick one. I already tried to put that in here. That works. I also ordered myself these packet with these 3 smaller MD notebooks. They obviously fit in there without any problem. If you're a fan of the Moleskine Kahir notebooks, these soft cover notebooks, you can put those in. You can put in a normal journal that you can buy in and pick up in any stationery shop, you know, like school journals and so on. So this is actually a really nice and flexible system that you can really make your own. You know, you can put in notebooks, you can put in calendars, whatever. You can fully customize the whole thing the way you want it in terms of material, in terms of color. It sort of like opens and lays flat on your desk. You can put in some bookmarks. You can have 2, 3, or 4 of these clips, which is very fantastic. And as said, you can get the thing in different materials. I'm personally pretty amazed by this whole system, by this whole solution. It's a bit of a softer leather, so it's not very stiff. If you're sort of like a friend of like more stiffer material, you might have to go for a different material option. They don't have available the more sort of like glossy kind of leather that you're used to from traveler's notebooks. So maybe then you would also have to go for a different kind of material. I actually quite like this leather here. I like the looks of it. I like the feels of it. I like the, you know, the personalization. I always have like some post-its here with me. I have like a pilot marker in here. That's basically the one, the V sign pen that you've seen me writing with right there. I have like a fountain pen in here. I'm not worried that my fountain pens will get scratched because when I close it, it actually closes right against the paper, which is really nice. Here's another pen loop in which you could sort of like, where do I now have this pencil? Right, it's here, in which you could slide in a pencil, so you can also have always a pencil with you. So there's all kinds of things that you can do right here. Guys, that was that, you know, with this review of this system. I really came to love it. It's absolutely fantastic. I don't think that I will ever go back to normal A5-ish notebooks, because this here makes my work life just so balanced. It makes it so flexible. This thing here will age with me, my work notebook, just as my private traveler's notebook will, that I use for personal private planning, bullet journaling, regular journaling, and so on. So I have now a package. This is my private, you know, notebook. This is where all the private stuff goes in. This is my professional setup where I also have as said, you know, the last notebook is sort of like a calendar where I do a little bit of planning. And then the first two notebooks, that's just regular note taking. And I can always, like, you know, have still the one full notebook with me so to keep an archive of my old notes. Then I will start the new notebook. And as that one fills up, that will go to, you know, the first page as an archive, or the first slot as an archive, when the second one, new one, will come in here in the middle. This is like a really, really fantastic setup. I completely love it. As said, I don't think that I will ever get back to normal Moleskine or Leuchtturm notebooks or whatever. I'll probably just, like, you know, find the inserts that are working for me. And I'm now going to try out, next that I'm going to try out is like these MD ones. And also this one here from Pebble Stationery Company. And as you already see, I have like a Leuchtturm in here that I'm going to try out next. As said, they also have Roterfaden themselves. They also have quite a bunch of different inlays. I'm not amazed by the paper quality of those, but if you just write with pencil or ballpoint pens, you're probably all right. As said, you're also okay-ish with fountain pens, but like, I mean, yeah, they're not really great. But I mean, the overall solution that they offer, the Roterfaden Taschenbegleiter or Red Thread Pocket Companion, if you want it in English, right? To me, fantastic product, guys. If there's something that I haven't covered, if you have any question, you know, drop me a line, drop me a comment. I'm happy to address them. I think it's a quite complex product. There was a lot to cover. I'm aware of the fact that in this review, I maybe also just rambled on a little bit, but I really, as said, wanted to do justice to that product, which you also don't see covered all too often, I think. Thanks a lot again to the guys over there at Roterfaden for shipping me this thing for review to try it out for you guys. Once more, here you have all their details, you know, head on over to their website, check out their history, check out all the good stuff they have, check out all the combinations, play around with their configurator. Let me know how it goes. Let me know in case you have any questions. And now I really shut up. Thanks for watching, guys. Ciao, ciao. See you at the next review.